Hello, today I'm back with another video and I want to make something today like a feminine figure and then these like beautiful organic abstract squiggly design line things around it. I have a loose vision of what I want to make today and I was scared I wasn't going to do one this week because I was kind of sick earlier in the week and I was working a lot this week, but it's Saturday. I came home and I have a few hours before it gets dark tonight, so I think I should push myself, try and make something today, and well, doesn't matter if we like it or not. Let's just try and make the loose vision that I have in my head today. Yes. Psych, we are not doing it on real life paper today. We are doing it on the iPad because I want it to go the way that I want it to go, and if I use the iPad then I will have endless amounts of tries. And guys, we live in a digital age, okay? You can undo, redo, and sometimes I love the tactile, doing the traditional art on paper, but today I'm not loving that. Today I'm loving the undo button. So that's what we're going to do today. And also I think I want to experiment with half-tone textures. I've been wanting to experiment with that for a very long time, and I have done some in the past, play around with some half-tone textures like how they have on comics, but I want to do more. I haven't done much, at least not in many pieces that I've liked. So today I'm gonna do that. I think, I'm not sure if it will, no, I think it will go with the loose vision that I have in my head. Yeah. Hello. Today's actually the next day because yesterday I was really tired after work and I went to sleep instead of making the art. So today I'm going to do the art. Yesterday I was just playing around with like the dynamics and the movement I wanted for the lines, and I took a reference photo yesterday just for the position I wanted the body. Hello, this is my first time doing a proper voiceover because when I had my old YouTube channel I was too scared to be perceived. But anyway, I remember for this piece, I actually made this piece like quite a few weeks ago and I'm just editing now, but I remember while making this piece, it kind of was like a very like inward piece, like even the body, the body language of the girl, like she's kind of holding and like consoling herself, kind of cradling herself. And I also wanted the tendrils, like the direction of the tendrils, they're kind of somewhat coming from within her, but they're also like surrounding and protecting her, almost like an echidna with spikes. And I always found that pretty interesting, like the echidna, how they have the spikes and they look so sharp and scary, the spikes, but they're pretty much just a form of self-protection and defense and kind of something, you know, just for survival. And this piece, it's kind of similar to that, like the direction of the tendrils, and when I was drawing it I was kind of thinking of like a cocoon, like kind of in a stage of hibernating, and it can almost be kind of like a suffocating feeling, similar to if someone's feeling very down or, you know, dealing with depression or mental health issues and you kind of tend to isolate. Hello, it is actually the Thursday of the next week because even though I really wanted to be very consistent, I was sick last week and I worked a lot, and this YouTube and making art, I want to mainly do this like pretty much for myself and to explore my craft. And even though I was frustrated at myself that I kept getting tired after work and not being able to finish the piece, I think if the week needs me to just sleep and be healthy, then that's okay, and I'm not gonna get too crazy upset over it. Just let it be. So, but today I'm gonna finish the piece, and there's a lot more for the piece to go. I'm not really happy the direction that it is right now, but the only way to get it to work is to work more on the sketch, and then once I'm happy with the composition, then I'm going to begin making the final piece. Yes. Yeah, like you kind of tend to isolate and withdraw, and sometimes that means you confine yourself to like the four walls of your bedroom, and it's kind of like a very claustrophobic, suffocating thing, somewhat out of self-preservation, but ironically it's terrible for you. And yeah, I've been trying to live a more balanced life, like trying to get back into dance and trying to go out and make more memories with friends, and also initiating plans and being a more active like person in my own life and for those around me. And there's this quote that I love that's like, I will make a beautiful life, or I will build a beautiful life for myself, no matter what it takes, or something like that. And I think that's quite a important way to live life, that it's like your responsibility to make, you know, yourself to make a good life. And I'm definitely trying to use my time better these days, but mainly I'm just tired, but it's okay. I'm gonna learn to balance time. Yeah, with this piece, I just kind of wanted it to be quite like a warm piece, even though she's kind of consoling herself. It's not very like a cold thing or anything. She's holding herself and keeping warm and protecting herself, and kind of like the cocoon, you know, it's in the process, it's in the in-between, in the making of. And I think I want to do another character design in the future of like this cocoon angel like creature, so hopefully I'll work on that soon, because it's always very interesting hearing like the metamorphosis or the transition of, you know, animals and different life forms, such as like, you know, the cocoon, the butterfly from the caterpillar. So I think that'll be a cool, like, I love seeing like character designs where they have like different stages of like a character, like evolutions, like say it has two forms and it can morph from one to another. So I'm hoping to explore that soon when I have time and energy, or when I make time and energy for it. But back to this piece, I remember when I was first working on this, like, it's obviously that there's like such a process making anything, no matter how big or small. And it's funny, normally it's like can be generalized by this like that famous graph where it's like starting like, this is amazing, this is gonna be the best thing ever, and it's like, okay, this is harder than I expected, and then it's like, okay, this is total shit, I'm a piece of shit, like everything sucks, like everything's pointless. And then it's like, oh, actually it's not as bad as I thought. And then it's like, hey, it's pretty sick. Anyway, that is so real, because sometimes it's so easy to get caught in like one of the lower like points of the process, and then just like stop there and give up, and then that's how you like never get through it, because the only way out is through the graph, through all those stages of, you know, doubt and everything. And that's pretty similar for anything in life, I guess, but easier in words, harder in practice. But yeah, I remember when I was working on this piece, I was like, you know, before you start, it's so nice to have an idea and you haven't done anything with the idea yet, because then it's just like a nice idea that, you know, can be fulfilled in like the imaginary. But then when you're actually trying to do it, and then it's just like something very definite just on the page in front of you, it's very easy to judge and not like and criticize. But that's why I'm gonna practice more on my anatomy and the art fundamentals, so that way I can like, translate my vision better onto, you know, the screen or onto the page. And then I think there'll be less frustrations. Obviously there will still be different challenges, but at least I'll be able to hopefully communicate in a, you know, more efficient or clearer, more specific way of what I want to show. Yeah, I remember making this piece, and at the start I was so excited, and then when I was doing it, like I couldn't get I didn't kind of know what way I wanted to stylize the character or anything, so I wasn't very happy. And then I also didn't know if I was liking the pose and the style and whatnot. But then after a few sessions of sitting down trying to fix it, I was determined. I was like, sit down, fix the like skeleton of the piece till you're happy with the composition, and then deal with it at the root level, and then after that you can, you know, kind of enjoy the process more, but like at least get through that part. Which and then as I kept working on it, I was happy with, you know, how it was going. And then when I feel like I have a good base, I feel like calm and collected again, and like I can continue on with the journey without feeling like very unsettled and kind of like starting from like a, you know, working from a base that you're not completely happy with. And that's why it's like so real, the art process. Like you literally just need to keep doing it. Like how people say, you know, make bad art so you can make the good art, or like in my head I guess that means like make more so you can communicate, you know, in a better, more interesting or clearer way what's in your mind onto, you know, translate into the visual tangible thing to be perceived. And yeah, I remember here I was playing around with like the background. At first it was, you know, all very bright, and that's what I wanted, but then it was starting to feel very empty, I kind of realized. So I went in with this intense red, the one that I had been doing the lines with, and it made the piece feel like I have more of like a visual, like something to hold on to. And in the end I went with having like 3 different, you know, pieces, and I quite like that. It had like the darker, more immersified red background, and then there's one where it's like the light is beginning to come in, and then the last one is brighter and feels lighter, and I like that, the different stages of it. Yay, so all done for this piece. So I'm going to, well, so this will be, I think I would present this one first, because visually I feel a lot more drawn to this one, even though I expected to like to present this one, kind of push this one more on the forefront, present this one first, but I kind of like it 1, 2, 3, and I like how it gets lighter and feels more positive, like something opening rather than closing. But yeah, I'm really proud. But yeah, I'll also put the images on the screen so you can see properly, and I guess I'll put it as a series, 1, 2, 3, or I don't know if that's the correct way, 1, 2, 3 series all together. Yay, so I'm actually pretty happy with how this one ended, and I thought it would be more of like a really light, visually bright piece, but I actually like how it kind of ended up with 3 images in a sequential piece. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with this one, and thank you if you watched the process, and thank you for spending time watching me create today. Take care, and I see you in the next video, which I might film right now because I want to make something else.